Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Xterminator, and I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 cast here. This is going to be a ZvZ Zerg on Metalopolis between myself over here in the bottom, kind of, right, I guess. But yeah, down here, I'm going to be the red Zerg, and my good friend xNazgull up here, the blue Zerg. My last cast was between us, and this game here was pretty good. I'm not going to say who wins yet, but it's fairly long, and there might be some slow parts, so I apologize if they're really slow. I'll speed it up during that, but it was a pretty good game. It was quite close for a while. So, yeah, let's get started here. So we both send our overlords just across here, and that's probably the best thing to do, just because, I mean, if you spawn here as a Zerg, just always send an overlord over here because it's much closer, obviously. So we're both going pretty standard builds here. I think I'm trying some weird, well, I'm not trying a weird build, but I'm doing something kind of random. So yeah, I do like an 11 pool, which I don't even know what I was doing, to be honest. He went 10 pool, or 9, yeah, about probably 10, because his is a bit ahead of mine. And our overlords do cross here. We just kind of leave him there. Let's see here. So he is ahead of me by 1 in the drone count, but I'm making, what am I making? Yeah, okay, so we stay pretty even here, and I grab my gas. I do grab mine before his. Mine, as you can see, is already done, while his is about halfway. I like to get that gas as soon as I can, just so I can build it up and get speed as quickly as possible, especially in Zerg vs. Zerg. Speedlings will make a huge difference if your opponent does not have them yet. You can get better surround, you can run away easier if you're attacking, just all kinds of stuff. So I pop out 4 Zerglings, and okay, I actually do a 6th. I wasn't sure. And we'll see here, he is actually throwing down a Roach Warren, which is a good strategy, and I don't think, did I scout that? Probably not.
Our forces are under attack.
I don't think I did. I might have. But I didn't notice it, obviously, because I'm not really doing anything about it. And he kills my overlord, and I get supply blocked. I didn't start one before my other one died, but it wasn't soon enough. So if your scouting overlord is getting attacked, well, try not to have it get attacked to begin with. But if it is, make sure to make an extra overlord to compensate in time, so you're not supply blocked for too long, or preferably at all. And yeah, so I decide, I'm like, okay, well, I want to try to out macro him, so I'm going to go ahead and put down a hatchery here, expand to my natural, and throw down a Roach Warren. And you see I grab my other gas because you can't really produce roaches very efficiently off of 1 gas. And he's sending, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's sending 5 roaches and some Zerglings, and I scouted it here with my tower, so I throw down 2 spine crawlers, and you see I cancel my Roach Warren to get some money, and because I know they'll take too long, and I make as many Zerglings as I can. And this is actually, this is pretty smart by me. I'm glad I thought of this. Normally I would just cancel it right away. I wait to cancel this until the very last minute, because I noticed he is attacking this and not coming up the ramp, and my spine crawlers were not done, and now they are. See, because I delayed him, and that makes a huge difference. If I would have canceled it, he would have just come right up here before these were done, and I actually probably would have lost, or taken, maybe not lost, I don't know. I definitely would have taken a lot more damage if that had happened, though. So yeah, I did cancel it though, which is good. I got those minerals back, or 75% of them anyway. But yeah, and he's keeping a good contain here is I know these are out here. I send several Zerglings down at different times to scout, make sure, you know, right there, there's one. So I know they're there, and he's keeping a good contain and actually sending more reinforcements over. And I obviously don't want to go expand, so I'm kind of stuck on one base, and he's following this up very well. He knows he has me contained and stuff, and so he throws down an expansion, which is exactly what you should be doing, right? I mean, if you have your opponent contained, what's the best thing to do? Well, you could try to just beat them then, but if you're not like positive you can, do this and expand. You know, it's kind of a win-win. So you see he still does not have, oh wait, now he has speed. Okay, he was quite a bit later than me though. So you see I I did put down a roach warren, and I start pumping roaches as much as I can. I keep getting close to supply blocked here, so I have to do kind of little increments at a time. But because I do notice with my scouting Zerglings that I keep sending that there's he doesn't have that many forces out here. He has 4 roaches and a good amount of Zerglings, but I know I have more Zerglings than he does, and I can get more than 4 roaches pretty easily. So he got his Evo chamber and is starting an upgrade, which is a very good idea. And something else I noticed he's doing is spreading overlords everywhere. You know, here, 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 over here, and that's going to be an overseer, I remember. But yeah, that's a really good thing to do. Especially at this stage in the game. Now, you do have to be careful about this later on, because if your opponent gets mutas or something, they can pick all these off, and if you're not careful, you will get supply blocked quite quickly. So I send that down. I'm like, alright, I know he doesn't have much, so I come down with, what, like 10 roaches and a ton of Zerglings, and I clean this all up. I'm not sure he was quite expecting that. I don't think he was. I'm not even sure if he was actually microing. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I do clean that up, and you see another smart move. He throws down 2 spine crawlers. Now, this might be a little preemptive, or is that the word? I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Like, it's definitely a good idea to throw down spine crawlers. That was a good reaction, because, you know, I mean, I would have definitely done that if I just got my whole army destroyed. I'm not sure if he cancels them or not, because I actually don't attack, and so that's kind of a waste of 200 minerals. But on the other hand, you can think of it, I mean, it's not that much of a waste, because if I do attack at some point, even if it's not for, you know, 5-10 minutes, spine crawlers are always a great thing to have, so that wasn't too bad of a choice. And I did upgrade to my lair. I'm pretty sure he's on lair tech as well, but he's still making roaches, and I've thrown down a spire, and it's almost done. And I've kind of been saving up gas here, not a lot, because I'm just on one base, but I do save it up, and he has not scouted this. As you can see, he has not seen, he has no idea that I have a spire up. And he told me after the game that I like totally caught him by surprise, because he didn't scout that. And yeah, this is you know, this did exactly what I wanted to do, is really catch him off guard and surprise him with that. Mutas are kind of usually my trump card, especially if I see the opponent going roaches, but lately it's kind of been actually turning on me. It really doesn't work lately, but yeah, so I see tons of roaches. So I do have mutas, which obviously roaches can't attack, so there's that. But I'm like, oh crap, okay, so he's actually not turning around. So I send everything I have here, and I keep making mutas, you'll notice, because that's obviously probably better at this point, since they can continually attack. But I do have my 3 spine crawlers, which is really good. And one goes down, but I do pull a queen and get, it's not clutch, but it definitely is a helpful transfuse here. And just like, yeah, make sure to always use your transfuses. They, if need be, they can be very helpful and maybe even save you the game. So I did hold that off. Almost all my ground forces got destroyed, but I did hold it off. The other problem though is he now knows I have mutas, so he has thrown up spore crawlers along the edge of his base here, and he's sending tons of zerglings. I think that was what, like 40 or something. So yeah, the zerglings are actually a pretty good unit against mutas, just because you can have so many of them. They can just overwhelm everything, as you see here. They kill my queen, they kill some drones, I think they kill a spine crawler, they stop all mining, so there's that. And I actually missed this, but yeah, so this was probably a minute or two ago, probably like 2 or 3 minutes ago. I threw up this hidden expansion over here on the far right, and this actually kept me going and kept me in the game for quite a while, because I was running low on resources here and I didn't have much mining here. But I did throw this up, and he did not scout it until way later in the game, and that definitely helped me, you know, continue producing mutas and stuff. And let's see here, his response to this, he did throw up a spire, and he's making mutas and corruptors, which is a really good thing. I should have made corruptors myself. I never did. And sorry, yawn there. And it did hurt me later on, because just the few corruptors he had made a huge difference. Like even now, I have more mutas than he does, but I actually pull out here because, or pull away because corruptors just have, I mean, they have 2 armor naturally and 200 HP, and mutas, like, they don't do that much damage, so they're not very effective against corruptors, to be honest, unless you have like a ton of mutas. So I decided it was best to just pull away and conserve my flying dinosaurs, as some people like to call them. And you'll see he is grabbing his 3rd. And I mean, we're both really late on 3rds. I mean, the standard usually for a Zerg to get a 3rd base is around 10 minutes, so we're pretty late. But again, I mean, we're both silver league, so not pro. And I am building, or yeah, I did build another spine crawler. I'm just putting it on the high ground here so it can cover this area in case he does come here. And right now, I'm not I'm not really sure. I think I was kind of spacing out at this point, to be honest, because I'm not really doing much. Like, oh yeah, so he's like, oh, that's how you can produce all this stuff. He finally found my expansion, and I'm just now throwing up gas. I should have thrown it up, well, like right after this was built, or even beforehand. So that kind of sets me back a bit. It would have really been nice to have these 2 extra gas, especially for mutas, because as you all know, mutas take a lot of gas. And I'm kind of spreading my creep here. It's obviously not as important in Zerg vs Zerg, but it definitely is important. Like, don't neglect your creep spread, even in a Zerg vs Zerg, because it can it's just, even if it affects their units too, at least it's vision for you, right? I mean, it definitely is helpful. So he's coming here, he's attacking, or I don't know if he saw my overlord or he was heading for an attack, but he has, I think he has about the same amount of he actually has like 3 or 4 less mutas than me, but he does have those corruptors, and again, those make a huge difference. And my bases, I don't even know. My economy was pretty trashy this game, to be honest. I don't know if I was out of it, if I don't know what the deal was, but this should have probably 5 or 6 more drones on it. I should have gas on both of these. This is pretty well saturated, but you know, I should probably be pulling some off here to put over here. I should be grabbing my fort. There's tons of stuff, and you'll see I'm like, my macro is pretty terrible right now. I mean, I'm floating 1,500 minerals, and that's definitely something you don't want. So if you're in that situation, throw up 1 or 2 auxiliary hatcheries, you know, grab a 4th, grab a 5th, depending when it is, maybe grab a 3rd, you know, make tons of zerglings, just do something to use that money effectively, right?